So just to tie together the 3 questions, the example we used in our presentation was from a Goofy movie. So we have 2 characters, Goofy and Max. This is a great example of how when you answer the 3 questions, sometimes that's where your story comes about. So Goofy and Max, their wants are, Goofy wants to go on a fishing trip with Max. Max wants to go to the concert to impress his crush. The need for these characters, however, is that they needed to take some time to reconnect and kind of establish that father-son bond that they used to have and no longer have since Max, entered high school. And of course, their secret, which is revealed at the end, is that Max has been leading his dad to the concert all along, whereas Goofy harbored a fear of Max becoming a delinquent because Pete kind of spooked him a little bit in the beginning.
It's worth noting that Max's, his secret is really driven by his desire to really, assert himself as an independent grown-up.
Yep.
Which puts his agenda in direct conflict with Goofy's. And that's where the story boils out of. And a lot of great stories, the entirety of the story is you take 2 characters with conflicting wants, needs, or secrets, or some combination therein, and you let it play out.
If you're having a hard time answering the 3 questions, that's actually really understandable. Sometimes you're either too far in or too early on to really understand or connect with those ideas. So if you're having a hard time with it, try this method of using whether your character is motivated by terror or by aspirations. A good example of a character motivated by terror is Tywin Lannister. And a lot of people are probably squinting their eyes at me right now, but Tywin is terrified of being his dad or being compared to his dad. For those of you who aren't aware of Tywin's history, Tywin's father was considered throughout the Kingdom of Westeros as this huge joke, which is why he has a very big problem with his son Tyrion, because he considers Tyrion to be nothing but fulfilling that idea of making his family look like a joke. So Tywin is motivated by the fear of being anything other than what his father was. When you go into aspirations, though, Daenerys is a very good example of what a character looks like when they're motivated by those aspirations. And her entire thing is that she really wants to be a queen. And from the very beginning, even to her lowest point within the story, she doesn't think of herself as anything but a queen. The only goal that she has is to become a queen of Westeros. And so that's a great example of what aspirations look like within a character.
So it's also really interesting to note that often when you answer this question, the character's behavior on the outside will appear to be the opposite. So in the case of Tywin, it's very easy to confuse his behavior as being driven by aspiration to just be to make House Lannister this great regal dynasty. But once you chip away at the paint job, all of a sudden you see the fear underneath it. Likewise with Daenerys, a lot of her decisions early on seem very motivated by fear and seem to be very fear-centric. But again, once you peek under the surface, you realize that the situations that she's in are solely because of this aspiration to be a queen.